Hi everybody, welcome back to Clear Vision again. We're going to go through a recap of what we did last time. So that was looking at effort level. So has effort level changed within what you've been doing on a day-to-day basis? Are you putting 100% in? Or are you still working at that 60 to 80%? So leading on from that, what we're going to do is look at another topic that a lot of my coaching clients come into me with, which is fear. What's fear stopping you doing? And we'll look at that in 2 or 3 different levels. So on a personal level, what's fear stopping you doing? Some people come to me with fears of height, speaking in front of people, other things like dieting. They've got a fear attached to it because the last time they did it, they couldn't do it. So what I'll do is give you an example of that. From my point of view, from a personal point of view, what I now do now, I had a fear of talking in front of people. So that was stopping me progressing my business to do these videos, stand and do workshops. So I had all this passion and drive for what I do, but I couldn't put it out there. I was holding it in. The reason I was holding it in is because I had the fear. The fear of speaking in front of people was, what they're going to think of me. Am I going to say the wrong things? Am I going to do the wrong thing? But in reality, when you do face that fear, so every time I stand in front of this camera, I still have that fear, but I know the feeling I get after I do it. So what I do is I don't focus on the fear, I focus on the feeling I get after it, which is just that I've done something that I thought was in my comfort zone, which was I'm not going to speak, I'm just going to stay here. But as soon as I jump out of that comfort zone and you attack it head on, yeah, you have 2 or 3 seconds of that fear, but then after it, you get that feeling that I like to call awesomeness of just, I've done something I never thought I could do, and I spoke to people that I never thought I could do. So again, when you're thinking of your fears, what are they holding you back from? Another example of that, one of my coaching clients that was actually in this week had a fear of heights, which a lot of us probably do have, but this fear was stopping her going out to a walking club, it was stopping her going upstairs in a local kind of superstore, and other things like that. So it leads on to other aspects of your life. So what I did is I set her a small challenge. I said, right, tomorrow all I want you to do is you're going to go up the flight of stairs in that particular shopping centre. So to you, sitting at the other side of this, watching this video, I think that's nothing. But to her, that was like climbing a mountain. But what we have to do is start with one step. So I got her to take a picture at the bottom, say that she could do it, get to the top, take another picture of it, and then what she did, without me saying anything, she went and did that another 2 or 3 times on other stairs that had been holding her back. So that's the first step. Now she knows that she can conquer a fear, but what she now's got is something that she can hold on to, which is how it felt after it, that amazing feeling of coming out your comfort zone and doing something. So the next challenge, which is going to happen in a week's time, is a bigger challenge. But what's going to lead on from that is if you face your fears, you fear nothing. And generally what a fear is something that's holding us back. Another example of this was one of my clients came to me and says, I'm really starting to struggle. My son's going away for a week to, you know how they go away for a week to this confidence building. So there's no phones, there's no interaction with them. So she was getting the anxiety, he's not going to manage, he's not been away. But what that was telling me, it wasn't the fear of the child, it was her fear. Her fear of letting go, her fear of not being able to control it. But then what happens from that is you manifest your fear onto your child. But then what happens to that child when it becomes an adult is it has to face a fear and it goes back to that moment and goes, oh, my mum said I can't do that and can't do this, can't do that. Generally, as a child, you don't have that fear. Remember when you're about 5 or 6 and you just did things like you were climbing a tree, you were swinging on a rope. You never thought of one key phrase that what happens when you get older. What do you think that phrase is? I'll give you another moment. Another moment? Still not got it? What if? Yeah, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if it doesn't? What happens if you face that fear and you become massive from that? From me, the confidence I have gained from talking in front of this camera, talking in front of people and inspiring more people is just phenomenal. And for me, as a person, where it can take me is going to be the ultimate dream. And I had that same fear, as I was talking about my client, as the fear of heights when I was younger. But that had been put on me by my parents saying, oh, don't go up too high, oh, this might happen, that might happen. So unconsciously, my fear of heights hadn't come from me, it had come from my past. So what I did for my fear was, I chose something that was going to really push my boundaries. So what I did is I did a tandem skydive. So that was massive, but what I did is I attached it to a charity. So I attached it to do it not just for me, I had a goal and a purpose to do it for, so it was for someone else. And when you don't focus on your fear for you, it becomes less about you and more about someone else. So mine was about helping children line. So all I thought about was my fear, yep, it's going to be short term, but I was thinking about those poor kids who that phone call is going to make a difference, that person that they can phone. So that drove me to get up in that plane, and everybody was saying, why are you going to jump out of a fairly good plane? And everybody was still giving me doubt and still trying to force their fear onto me. But see the feeling, and I've got goosebumps just right at this specific moment thinking about that. And every time I do think about that moment, I get this sensation inside me, which is just that moment of just falling out the plane and just being like Superman, being able to fly. There's nothing I've done yet that's come anywhere near that. Speaking in front of people has come seriously close to that, but still doesn't get to that moment. And what I do now, looking forward, is anytime I have a fear, I think not the moment of the fear, I think about the moment after it. See that feeling that's going through my body right now, that's what I think about. And that feeling of just looking about and there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing. I was just free. What is your fear stopping you from doing?